Welcome to day 26 of the 30-day AI Automation Pro Challenge. Yesterday, we talked about the big guys in the AI automation industry and what you can learn from them. And today I want to share what I learned from more than 8,000 students online at that point that joined one of my video courses. Why is that important? Also, during the 30-day AI Automation Pro Challenge, I basically teach you something. This is more or less the same setting as in my video courses. And because of that, the same principles apply when it comes to learning and getting the most out of a setting like that. And because of that, I want to share in the next slides my biggest learning that more than 8,000 students taught me, so that you will understand what separates the people who thrive with a course like that and the others who don't get anything out of it. Trust me when I say that this can make or break your entire success when it comes to learning, not just within the challenge, but learning any subject in general. Because of that, let's waste no further time and jump right in. All right, so let's have a look what more than 8,000 course students taught me and what you can learn from it. And I want to begin with the so-called spectrum of students. You are probably already familiar with the so-called bell curve. This is the bell curve, and almost everything in our life and in our world is distributed like that. We always have an average. This is where the masses are located, and then we have the extremes to the left and right. And applied to courses or to learning something, we have the masses somewhere in the middle, and then we have people who achieve poor results and we have people who achieve great results. And in my opinion, the big question is what separates those extremes and how does that translate into actions? Because you want to make sure that you are located somewhere here and not somewhere here. And today I want to share with you what I learned by engaging with all these students, what makes actually the difference between these two extremes and how you can make sure that you are on the right side of that bell curve. So let's have a look what separates these two extremes. Again, on one side we have the people achieving poor results and on the other the ones achieving great results. And the first thing I want to mention is the following. On the poor results side, there are often people who have a all courses are scam attitude. So they believe that whoever is selling a video course or is teaching something just wants to get their money, and that it is just a huge scam and that it doesn't work for them. On the other side, we have people with a mindset like that. I can learn from any course. And I want to give a personal story here, how I personally experienced that. At one point, I bought a course, a video course from another creator, because I thought I could learn a lot from that for myself and for my own courses. But when I bought that course, I thought this is not even possible how bad this course is. But I still learned a lot and it actually served me. Why? Because I learned that I actually deliver so much more for less money. And this gave me so much confidence to even more aggressively sell my own courses, because I know there are people out there who charge more and offer less. And this gave me a huge confidence boost. The next point I want to cover is the following. On the poor result page, we have people telling what you teach doesn't work for me because I have a special situation. And on the winning side, we have people telling whatever you teach, I'll make it work for me. And this is a huge difference, and trust me, I get this every day. There are people who are telling me in my courses that this method won't work exactly for them because they have a very special situation. And then I have other students who reach out to me and tell me they live in Asia somewhere or in Africa and this is not working, but somehow they figured it out how to make it work. And this is a huge difference, and it shows exactly what separates the two extremes here. And this is something that you also have to apply for yourself. Just make things work for you and always assume that you are not special. There is always a way to make things work for you. Next point, on the poor result page, there are people telling the following. The course sucks because it does not include every information I need. And then on the winning side, we have people stating the following. There was something I didn't understand, but I requested additional information. And this has to do with being passive or proactive. And I also experience that every day. There are people who just lean back, they buy a course, and then they think now magically they should achieve great success with the course by just sitting there passively and listening and don't doing anything. And then I have the successful students who are proactively following the topic, and they are reaching out to me and asking for additional information if they don't understand anything, and they just engage actively. And this of course results in completely different outcomes of the separate groups. Next point, we have on the losing side of students the following: I copied everything like you did it and I don't make any money. On the right side though, we have people stating, I adjusted your principles to my situation and it works great. And also here again, we have passive people and active people. At one point in your life, you will realize that there is no one fits all solution for anything. It is always needed that you adjust things you learn to your own situation and your own circumstances. And the people who achieve great results with video courses are the ones who just understand the principles. They extract the principles and they apply the principles to their own situation. And then we have the people who just sit there and just think that if they copy everything 100% exactly as presented, that the work ends and they don't have to do anything. But if this would be the case, think about it. We all would have the exact same results. And this is not true. And this proves the point that you just have to engage actively with the subject and that you always have to read between the lines and you have to apply concepts to your own situation. And the last point that I want to share here is the following. On the bad result side of course students, we have people who think like that. If I personally attack the tutor and put him down, this will better my life. And on the winning side, we have people who think like that. I don't waste a single second on negativity and putting others down. I focus on winning. And this is something that I truly don't understand, but trust me when I say this happens also every day. There are students who just attack you for no reason and they call you bad names and they just somehow think that this will somehow magically improve their life. And it is just not true. No matter how bad you insult me, no matter what names you call me, it doesn't change a damn thing about your results and your outcome. And the good students, they understand that. They just don't focus on negativity, they focus on winning. And if they are not satisfied with my work or something is missing, they just stay to the facts and they focus on what they actually need to make this work for them. And then they request, they ask questions, and they get what they need and they keep going. And to come back to the example when I myself bought a bad video course, I did not reach out to the guy telling him that this is a scam or that it is bad, because I made the course work for me anyway by just extracting that little piece of information that I knew that from now on I can sell my own courses with even more confidence as they are just better. And the last thing to just finish off that point is that just be aware that most creators out there, they just don't care at all about any negative comments, myself included. I just don't have the time to focus on things like that. And whenever someone is just extremely aggressive or negative without any reason or further explanation, I just ignore it. All right, so this is basically what separates the two groups. And on the next slide, I want to show you how we can further condense that down into a very easy to understand concept. Because at the end of the day, what we look at here is the following. Basically, on one side, we have a victim mindset. And I try to illustrate that with this little meme here that you probably know. It just perfectly represents how the people on the bad results spectrum think about video courses and learning in general. It's all about the other people and their finger pointing on other people at the tutor, and they basically load all the responsibility to the tutor who is offering the course. But keep in mind, whenever you point at someone, there's also at least one finger pointing back. And overall, it's just a bad victim mindset if you think that things don't work because of him, because of her, because of that course, or because of that lesson. So what is the mindset on the winning side? It's of course a winner mindset. And of course, I also want to give you some examples what this actually means. For example, I have some constructive feedback for you that would make the course better for anyone. And I want to be crystal clear here. I don't have a problem with any feedback. Oftentimes I received critical feedback that was totally true and reasonable. And I considered that feedback. I thanked the person for the feedback, and it truly helped me to make my courses better. And in that case, this is totally fine. You know, I don't talk about avoiding any critics, but it always has to be constructive and in a reasonable frame. Also, something like that is totally fine. I understood X and that doesn't make sense to me. Did I understand that correctly? So what is the difference here? You know, the people on the victim mindset side, they just say this is bullshit, it doesn't work, you are basically an asshole. And the winner mindset is different. They always assume that maybe they understood it wrong and they just want to double check if they actually understood it correctly, and in case they understand correctly and it is still not working, they demand extra information, and this is what makes them a winner. Next one, I applied X to situation Y and I need your help to get it running. Same situation on the victim side. People just assume that if they do 100% what is told in the course, it will just magically work. And the winners understand that everything has to be applied and adapted to specific situations and circumstances. So whenever you catch yourself thinking, man, this is not working, ask yourself, how is my situation different from his situation? What do I need to make this work? And then request additional information. The tutor will help you. I will help you, and then you keep going and achieve great results. And the last point, I tried X, Y, Z, but it still doesn't work. Can you please help me? And what we learn here is the following. The successful students, they try out for themselves, and they do not only try out one method, they try out different paths until they realize, okay, I definitely need help, and then they reach out for help or to get extra information. And this has the huge advantage that they also gather more personal experience. Because if you reach for help at the very first resistance, you basically skip the opportunity to gather own personal experience and to learn. And if you try out things for yourself and then you request information, the information you receive will be even more valuable because it is based on personal experience and you already know what works and what doesn't. So always try out things for yourself and then combine it with additional information. All right, that's it for day 26 of the 30-day AI Automation Pro Challenge. And as I already mentioned a couple of days ago, I'm about to also launch my own AI community, the German AI Creator Community. And this will be a place where I will not only provide all my video courses that I ever created, but more important, it will be a private network where like-minded people come together and we can exchange, collaborate and learn and grow together as a community. In the next couple of days, I will also share more information about the community, what exactly it will be about, how it will work, how you can join. But for now, I just want to let you know that you are invited to join. That's it for today. We see us tomorrow. Cheers, Dominik.